Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Philip Kostner here at the Silverrudder headquarters at Svendborg Amateur Sailing Club. Quite a lot of noise behind me today. We decided that it might be a nice idea to invite some of the volunteers that have participated every year for the registration party, which starts in exactly 11 minutes. And I can imagine that those of you that are sitting there standing by listening in now have got your computers flashed up. Like I wrote a few minutes ago, your Wi-Fi is blasting, ready to go. And we're really excited to see whether the 2022 edition of this fabulous race is going to be as great a success as it has been the last 10 years. Now, this is the 11th Silverrudder, and I think this is probably the year where we've had most inquiries from you, new sailors, people coming back year after year after year. A lot of you have written to us this year, asking about information about the race. I think that's definitely exceeded all the other years. So we're really excited about this year's registration. In fact, this year, for the first of the 11 years, we've got an internal bet going on of how fast the race is going to be sold out. I'm not going to say who said what, but a few people have said 12 hours. One of the other managers of the race have said, 48 hours. I haven't been quite as daring as that. I've said more like about 24 hours, but regardless, we're really excited to see whether or not the race will be sold out immediately. COVID-19 is definitely fully under control here in Denmark. As you can see, the amount of people behind me and the number of people that are being contaminated by the illness have dropped desperately or drastically. The rest of Europe, I know, is on its knees due to the situation in Russia and Ukraine. But hopefully we'll be able to sail on the 16th of September as if nothing has happened, and we just continue at least to try and live a normal life. Now, we've got so much exciting stuff lined up for you in September. We've got Lars Sting coming and playing his guitar. You'll never sail alone. Personally, I'm going to be racing again this year, but and I'll be doing the skippers meeting again, but Philippa Dinesen, who's on her way to the Caribbean on a sailing boat as we speak, has promised to take over a lot of the media coverage for me during the race, but I'll be there for you right up until the race with interviews, and we're going to have a lot of fun again this year. A lot of exciting stuff's happened. We've got new sponsors on board. And before I forget that, thanks very much to all the sponsors for your participation and your loyalty to the race year after year after year. Thanks very much. Remember, this isn't just the Silverrudder 2022. This year we'll also be staging the second official Seascape First 27 SC Eurosaf European Single-Handed Championships. Now, that's going to be really, really exciting to see whether Peter Edman can leave Svendborg on the 19th or 18th of September with the gold medal around his neck again, or he's going to have to allow one of his competitors were chomping at his heels, snapping at his heels to take over the record. Another really exciting piece of news is that, remember last year, the X79 that Elfstrom Sails and X Yachts donated a fabulous spinnaker with great gold letters across the front. This year we've actually progressed onto the X99 class. Hopefully we hope that's going to attract a whole bunch of X99s to race against each other. I know that I've heard from at least 6 exciting about the progress. According to my watch, 3 minutes to go for the registration to start, and thanks all of you for writing to me. I mean, to be writing to us, it's really, really great to know that there's so many of you out there, so many familiar names and new names. A few of you asking to be accepted to the Silverrudder Facebook page. Just keep them coming. I'll try and keep up as best as I can. But remember, the registration does not take place on Facebook. It takes place on our website, www.silverrudder.com, and at exactly 1800 on the dot, refresh your browser and the registration page will come up. Jump into that site. We've tested the site, it's working, and the previous years it's been able to handle up to 100 registrations constantly during the minute, so you won't have any problem there. If you do have, write to me immediately on our Facebook site there. Okay, so keep it coming, and if you've got any messages, just let me know. In the meantime, don't worry about talking to me on Messenger. Just get straight to your keyboards and start writing. You've got 2 minutes to go for the registration, and if anybody would like to make a vote or have a bet with us how long you think it'll take for the race to be sold out, then write on the Facebook site here. That'd be quite interesting to see who is closest to the exact minute, how fast we can actually sell out the event. There's actually a new website or a Facebook page called Silverrudder for Women. So if there are any women sailors out there sitting there ready to register, Float Magazine sponsored a site for women on Facebook, and another had a couple of seminars and workshops. And apparently they've been a huge success. And I'm really pleased to see that they've helped in promoting women sailors in our little event. Looking down through the names, how I know that Lena Weiskirchen, who races a Dale 31 design. Hi Lena, I was so pleased when you wrote last night saying that you were going to do what you could to enroll. Thanks for helping Float and the other participants there, and the ladies, the women sailors that want to get involved with your huge experience. Thanks a lot for helping out there. Special thanks to you. I've also written to a couple of other female sailors who've said unfortunately they can't participate this year. Well, it's 1800 exactly. Get on the keyboards. Look forward to seeing the numbers coming in. Okay. So I've been told there is a slight delay. So be patient. I can see it is now possible to register. It is now possible to register, and I'm looking for. I can see that the first 14 registrations have already come in, and that's like 10 seconds. The first registrations have already come in. Absolutely incredible. And just keep them coming there. Okay, now that's the first 35 registrations that have come in, and it's only 20 seconds past 6 o'clock, half a minute past 6 o'clock, and the first 35 registrations have come in. And it's nice to see Rikard Roh. Congratulations, you're right at the top of the list on your XP44. Well done. Urban Nielsen again, he's also one of the guys we've seen before. Brilliant. Anders Nyberg in his RM 1350. Lars Steen, congratulations Lars for getting involved. You'll never sail alone. Good to see you on the list again, Lars, and congratulations for signing up. I mean, so many of you, it's just so great to see you on the list again. I can see that Luz Spamut is there again in his Avance 36. I mean, I don't know how many years you've been here, but at least as long as I have, which is great. Good to see you on the list. 54 tickets have been sold in just the first minute. And on my clock, it still says 18:01. So now we've got 144 sold tickets. 144 sold tickets. Did you hear that, photographer? Fleming, did you hear that? 144 sold tickets in a minute. That's amazing. Which is absolutely incredible. I'm just going to write to somebody who's online and sending me some details here. That's 170 sold. Well, I'm not sure how I can get to keep up. I've got an appointment at the airport in a couple of hours' time, and I was wondering whether or not I'd be able to make it, but I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. With 207 tickets sold in just 2 minutes, 207 in 2 minutes. That's absolutely amazing. And I'm writing to Henrik Jørgensen from Xbox, who's helping do some statistics here, which is absolutely amazing. Thanks a lot for that help, Henrik. I know that he's busy registering himself. I'd love to be able to call all your names out. I mean, I'm absolutely overjoyed to see you all on the list. It's absolutely amazing. Whoever would have thought that there'd be so many of you in just a very few minutes now. Let me see. Michael Schmidt in his Bavaria 42. I raced the Express National Champions last year, and I got quite drunk on his boat. Thank you for the shelter and the place of refuge, Michael, and thank you for throwing me in the harbour. I'm going to get you back this year. Andre Røvenstall in his J109, another old friend from way back in my Impala 27 days. Great to see there. And this is absolutely overwhelming to see that 263 tickets have been sold in 3 minutes. I mean, if we keep it up this way, we're going to have broken every single record we ever had in the past. 281 tickets and still only 3 minutes past. A few new names on the list. Tim Hill, I don't think I recognize your name. Congratulations for buying your ticket. Welcome on board. Martin Lange, you've registered twice. We'll make sure we remove one of your registrations. Please do, no, I'm not saying be patient, but I'm sure you will get to register. Try and avoid, registering several times. Patrick Heinrich, welcome back, Patrick. T24, you've been with us for years now. Very, very, very keen and talented sailor. Patrick has won his class several times. 305 tickets, so there's only 125 tickets to go. Klaus Rønne-Madsen, who also won in his CB66 a couple of years ago. Well done. Bjarne Lorentzen, welcome back in his first 24. Nice to see so many of you here. Erik Friis, you're definitely with us. You've registered 3 times. Erik, well done. In your L23, I hope you're listening in. Congratulations on getting the registration. This is brilliant news. This is really absolutely incredible. I'm just totally overwhelmed. I know we all are. And all the guys behind me looking and watching the registrations as they come in. Kåre Gibson Madsen in his Seascape 27. Kåre, welcome to the Silverrudder, and congratulations on getting your ticket. This obviously means that you're going to be participating in the Seascape First 27 SE European Championships. Tobias Schadwald, same to you. Henrik Snitker in my Impala 27 has registered. It's good to see. Let's see if we can get a list of how many of the X99s and the Seascapes 27s that have registered so far. So I'll just go down and do some more screening of the lists. We'll try the Seascape. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Seascape 27s already. That's absolutely incredible. Well done to you guys. Congratulations on getting a start number. I'll just refresh my browser like you have to. It's now 6:05. I mean, we've been selling tickets for the Silverrudder for 5 minutes, and we've sold 341 tickets. That's absolutely incredible. Per Siderberg has registered in his first Seascape 27 SC. Per, as you may know, is the importer for the Seascapes in Denmark. Well done. Good to see you back on the list. Max Gürgel in his dealer 34, in his 31 design. Well done, Max. Good to see you. You race with Lena, which is good to see. So hopefully Lena's going to be on the list there somewhere. Welcome back, Scott Malley in his Albin Express. Good to see you. Sirgeline Skorgård Andersen in Spiff in her dad's boat. Sirgeline, this is your second Silverrudder. You said last year you just wanted to complete. You certainly did, and did very well. Great to see you on the list again. Really, really nice to see you. You're a real inspiration to other young women sailors. Well done. Great to see you back. Let's see who else is on the list. And there's so many whose names I'd like to shout out. But Peter Edmonds on the list, who won the Seascape 27 SE last year. Great to see you. Andras, well done. Andras is here in his 27 as well. That's going to be a tough race. That's going to be really tough. Good to see you. Let me see how many people. There's 333 tickets sold so far, and they're still coming in nicely, still coming at a good speed. 339, I just refreshed my browser. Janne Magnusson in his Seascape 27 as well. It's not just because I'm only looking for the Seascape 27s, and it may sound that way, but they just happen to be the boats that I can see trickling in. I can see in the way the multi-hulls. We've got Lars Kampfer in his Dragonfly 800. Good to see you back as well, Lars. A lot of multi-hull sailors back. Jens Thuesen, it's good to see you on the list in your Dragonfly 40 Carbon. Brand new boat. I'm not really sure if you've even received it yet, have you? I know that it's just been bought, and I know you also have a first Seascape 24, so congratulations on that, Jens. Good to see you on the list. Let's see who else we've got. Be interesting to see how many Dela 31 designs we have on. They won first and second place last year in the small category. Remember that some of the guys you might not see on the list, if some of you are wondering, hey, where are all the champions from last year? Remember that all record holders get to, they're secured, they're guaranteed a starting number, whether or not they manage to actually register during the registration process. That's the only way we can ensure that the record holders get to return every year to defend their records, yeah? So let's see how many one designs there are. So far there are 430 ODs one designs, which is nice to see. Lena, well, good to see you on this. Fantastic. You were actually the person I was looking for. Great to see you on the list, Lena. Well done. There's one dealer 36 SQ, and there's going to be a dealer 36 or 36 SW as well. Let's see. I've got to get an indication of the amount of people. There are people here writing for me asking me how many people are registered now. So give me a few seconds. I promise to keep people informed of the updated list as we go along, as we proceed. So at the moment, as far as I can tell, we've got 359 on the list. That's 359, and it's 9 minutes past 6. That's it. Brilliant. Let's see who else is. I'll just try sorting the boats out in accordance to nationality just for a minute. So we'll see how many Danes and how many German participants we have. We'll just start at the top there. Niels Larsen in his Comet 41, good to see there. Morten Friis as well. Martin Meriden, who has won the race a couple of times as well in his landmark 43. I know that he's excited to participate again this year. Søren Juhl, who has participated in his Albin Express, has now bought a first 40. He's a contender as well. That boat has actually won the race in the past with another skipper on board. So good to see that boat. Biwa Scheufens in his gorgeous Luffe 45 DS Silver. And I know that Luffe is, or rather know that Biwa and his wife Marianne, who are absolute Silverrudder aficionados. Good to see you there. And I know that they built the boat specifically with Silverrudder in mind. Absolutely fantastic boat with a silver-colored hull, and the boat is actually called Silver. So, right. Henrik Jørgensen in his XP44 Xbox, that everybody knows, and if not, you should know him. Henrik is right up there amongst Biwa Scheufens as one of the real Silverrudder aficionados. He helps out with the statistics and the data and all kinds of stuff. So thanks very much. Great to have you on board here and helping us out every single year, Henrik. Let's see, there are a couple of people that haven't registered their surname, and I guess they were so keen to register. Jakob in his Trabant 38 and Kjell in his X372. Those of you who haven't made a complete registration, make sure you write to our email address. That's silverrudder@silverrudder.dk as soon as you're finished with the payment this evening, and we'll get that sorted out. Also, if you can see that you've registered twice, Flemming Andreasen, we'll get that sorted out for you. Please write to us, all right? Okay, let's just see how many people now. I've just refreshed my browser and see. This is absolutely incredible. We're now for 372 registrations, and it's 11 past. Yeah. Yeah, I've just been told that the registration trends from last year are being followed almost minute for minute. That, we had an explosive sale of 350 tickets within the first 10 minutes. It's almost identically parallel. And the interesting thing is I can see on the list there are a lot of newcomers here as well. A lot of people that haven't raced this race before. So exciting news. So I guess that we're just going to have them keep on coming. 374 registrations so far, and this is what happened last year. It sort of like ebbs out just a little bit, so let's keep that going. I've got a few messages on the Silverrudder site I just have to answer. There's one person that wants to be accepted for, we got it, he's already in, good, done, including payment. Yeah, good to see Per Svanberg, who drives all the way down there from Stockholm with his Far East 31. He wrote that he's done, he's paid, all set up, ready to race. Last year he got here, practiced, got the boat ready, and when he's tightening up his rig, one of his spreaders snapped, like a carbon spreader, and it snapped, and you could hear the snapping, like explosive sound across the whole harbour. So good to see you on the list, Per. Fantastic. And I've got we've got a message here from Teresa Schulte-Kramer, officially registered for the Silverrudder 2022. Who else? And Teresa is one of the women that has been participated in the website and the web seminars for Silverrudder for women. So Teresa, we can't wait to see you here in Svendborg. Brilliant. And another guy has written FUCK, no link, no connection. And then he's written afterwards, I got it fixed, we're done. So a lot of emotions, a lot of emotions out there. Great to see. And I can see that Henrik has written at the level of 366 participants. At that stage, there were let me see, 51 X yachts already, 21 Seascapes, 15 Galas, 14 Beneteaus, 10 Hansas, 8 Albins, including Expresses and other models, Novas and stuff, 8 Confortinas, 6 Loafers, 5 Maxis, 5 Bavarias, 5 J-boats, and there are a lot of other boats that aren't represented. But if we look at the nationalities, it looks very much like last year as well. 221 German boats, great to see you back, super. 105 Danish boats, 16 Swedes. The Swedish delegation is back. Yes, I'll help you booking a restaurant as usual. 5 Slovenians, 5 from the Netherlands. And that's good to see the Dutch delegation back. It's brilliant. The Slovenians, good to see Seascape, the guys back again. Super. 3 Swiss boats this year. That's brilliant. That's great. 2 Austrians. There's only 1 Austrian last year. And I haven't had time to look at the list, but I bet it's Michael Wimmer, who had the skull and crossbone on the top of his sunbeam last year. And one Hungarian boat, and I presume that's you, Thomas. And if we're lucky you don't sell your boat, then you can come back in your fantastic boat with foils. Let's see, if we look at the categories, I've just got a refresh on the message here. Let me see. If we look at the categories, a second, I just lost my link a second. You bear with me for a second, I'm doing my best to try and keep up. We've got a lot of pages and a lot of messages coming in. It's really, really exciting to see you guys so enthusiastic about enrolling for the race again this year. So far, 379 people have enrolled for the Silverrudder in 15 minutes. I mean, that's absolutely out of sight. You know, that leaves us with only 71 starting numbers left. It's only 71. So if you're sitting there thinking, should I, shouldn't I? And remember, I haven't registered yet, and I'm going to be racing, all going well, if my wife will let me. I'm just kidding, because I know she might be listening in. So get in there. Surplus to these registrations, there'll be a few wild cards that have been handed out to our sponsors, but you know, we're talking about just a handful there. So keep your registrations coming, and just go back to my message there from Henrik and see whether he's given me an update on the data. Brilliant. Let's see again. Oops, wrong message. So if we just go back to the data he sent me, the amount of boats, this was at the time where there were 366 boats registered. We had 54 minis, which I think might be a slight increase. 79 small boats. That's boats from 25 to 30 feet. And you remember, that includes boats like Jan Hansen's new Alolus 30, and it also includes boats like the Dela 31 design. And it's a very, very, very competitive class. Now, boats are being built semi-specifically for this race and other similar races, especially for that, you know, ultralight, fast racing boat. So it's going to be really exciting to see development in that class this year. Then you've got the medium keel boats, that's 30 to 35 feet, 115 of them, by far the biggest class. I guess, you know, that's the X99s, the X332s, the boats that are sort of, you know, that are a typical, you know, racer cruiser. Then you've got the large boats, 77 of those, extra large boats, that's from 40 feet and above. And then you've got 7 large multi-hulls and 1 small multi-hull so far, but we're far from finished yet. And I can see that I've been given a new link. Here we go. It's a brand new link on the data from Henrik. That's at 378 enrolled boats. Excuse me, I'm just going to go back and have a look. There's another message from one of the lady sailors. She said, this is from Petra Hoffman. Petra, well done. She says, done, officially registered for the Silverrudder 2022. I'm excited, I'm spent. Well, Petra, if you're listening in, congratulations. That's really, really good news. I'll just go back to Henrik's list here a second. Taking a few seconds to, this is at 378 registries. We now have, let me see, some interesting data is the nationalities. You know, Denmark is pretty settled at 210, and 227 German boats, which is you know, very much a representative of last year. Of the 378 registries, there are 34 new boats. 34 new boats. So you know, that's just under 10%, 9%. And of the others, there are 250 that have completed, or that have actually repeated, that are coming back for their second or third time. And there are 94 of the boats that registered. That's 25% that have never actually completed the Silverrudder. Now this race has become, like a sailor's bucket list. I want to do the Silverrudder. I want to do the Silverrudder for the t-shirt, for the atmosphere, for all the hype, for the fun, the amazing race that you're going to be encountering. But it's the kind of thing that if you haven't completed it, if you didn't finish the race because you had a breakdown or there was no wind or too much wind or whatever, you're probably going to want to come back and, and get your money's worth. Personally, I'm participating because my t-shirt is worn out. I need a new one. And also because I want to see you guys on the water. So let's just see how many people have registered. I'm refreshing again. Let's have a look. There are now 393 boats registered. That leaves us with only 57 boats left, 57 slots left. So I'm looking at 392. Just to let you know, there's actually somebody in there removing the doubles as we speak, which is good, which is great, which means that we'll leave as many open slots as possible, which is good stuff. Let me just say, I've got a whole lot of people asking to enter into the Silverrudder website, people that are probably thinking they wanted to, there we go, I think I've got them all covered, wanted to enter the site, Yeah, and my son just wrote to me, he's on his way back from a skiing holiday with a broken collarbone and bleeding all over the place. And I've got to the hospital or to the airport to pick him up as soon as we're finished here, in fact. And he's wrote to me, hey Dad, remember to mention the fact that we're also on Instagram. And of course you're right, son, thanks for helping me out. We've got an Instagram page as well, which is called Silverrudder official site. So go to Instagram as well, lots of new messages coming in now. And there's Grüte Presko has written to me saying not possible to register. I'll just ask her what her problem is. That would be nice. And Nils Norlin has written to us. I can't find the name and address of the receive the transport payment. Okay, we should be there. All right. I'll just go back to the site again, and in a second I may have to take a very, very quick time out. Henrik, can you see Jörn Warming behind me? Can you wave him over here, please? Thanks. I'll just go back to the site again. Let's see how we're getting on. Okay, there are 400 sold tickets at exactly 18:21. 400 sold. Can he not see you? Just keep it running. It's fine. Just keep running. We just need to get hold of because there's a lady that wants to register and she can't get through. So we want to see if we can get as many people registered as possible. I promise I'll do everything I could to get. Okay, there are a few people that have written. Anders Johansson, thanks for your message. He said I couldn't get through. He says he's in. Thanks. Good to see you on the list again, Anders. Great news. Just keep them coming. If you do have encounter any problems. Okay, good. Gröde, she's got it. She's settled up. Okay, good. It would appear that those of you having a few difficulties are possibly due to your excitement. Want to get on the site no matter what happens, and possibly also because there's a slight delay, a slight backlag. But please be patient. And if you're having difficulty, write to me. Yeah, please write to me. I'll try and fix your problems in so far as humanly possible. I'll do what I can for you. Okay. 400 tickets sold so far, 402. So good to see you still coming in there. It's really good. Jan B. Hansen in his Aliolos P30. I'm really looking forward to see whether or not there's going to be more than one of those on the list, because I know that a couple have been sold, or a few have been sold. Tell me if I'm wrong, Hans Ginter, but I believe that 6 have been sold. I can see Hans Ginter's on the list as well. That's going to be a great race because Hans Ginter has won the race in his FAR 28 earlier, and Jan B. Hansen is the record holder in the small class. So Hans Ginter is going to be turning up in the boat that he's designed and built, and Jan Hansen, as I know that he's been in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates just last week testing the boat. So that's going to be a real dog race. That's going to be good to see. Let me just see who else I can find on the list. I'm looking at some skippers' names. Good to see Stefan Voss on the list in his Archambault A35. He's an aficionado as well. Stefan, he burst his Achilles tendon last year and had to bail out, literally just a couple of weeks before. But believe it or not, Stefan, he's a sailmaker for UK Sails Germany, and he has been invited to go down and represent his boat, his sails, and race the Rolex Swan Cup. And he wrote to me last night, but you know what, Philip, I'm coming to race the Silverrudder instead. That's how much the race means to me. So to Stefan Voss and Dirk Mano down there at UK Sails in Flensburg, thanks very much for your loyalty year after year. Thanks a lot for your support. Let's see, we've got, I'm trying to go through the list. We've got Jens Listrup in his Norlin 411. Jens has completely pulled the boat apart. He sent me a picture, well, I'm not sure if this morning or yesterday, where he's totally torn it apart. There were just 2 bulkheads in it, and he's totally refurbishing the boat. So good to see you on the list, Jens. Jens and I were partnered up for a presentation of the whole concept of Silverrudder for the Svenska Kappseilsfri Forbund during the winter, which basically means the Swedish Sea Regatta Racing Association. And thanks for that invitation, incidentally, Jens. It was a real pleasure. Morten Brandt and I did a session for them. 404 tickets sold so far, so only 44 to go. I mentioned André Røvenstad before. Well, Holger Røvenstad is on the list as well in his Alban Express, which is great to see. In the red boat, Røvenstad, which is called Ronje Røvenstad. It's not his brother, my mistake though, sorry about that. Let me just go through this. Stefan Kegel, good to see you back here as well. There are so many of you that are on the list that I haven't seen before. Therese Schulte-Kramer, good to see you on the list in your Great Dane 28. That's a real achievement. Christian Laursen V, who's also going to be racing in an Impala 27 called Luna, who I've known way back. He was a student of mine at the Nautical College here, we're talking 20 years ago, and is now a maritime pilot. So there's going to be quite a race amongst the Impala 27s. Uwe Grafe in his X332, that's going to be a fun race. There are quite a few of you there. Marlene Brüdek in her Seascape 27, Beneteau First 27. Good to see you back, Marlene. She participated and completed and did very well last year. Susanne Boyke is back. Good to see you back, Sani. Susanne, remember, who's the silver medal winner, Olympic silver medalist from the Olympics last year. And you'll be coming back in Figaro 3. Wow, that's a real monster of a boat. That's going to keep some of the other guys really on their toes. Susanne, Sani, it's great to have you on the list. Good to see you. Arne Feldman, good to see you here on your X979. Great to see you. Exit Light. Now again, I apologize, I'm not mentioning all your names, but there are just a few that I want to, just to help me celebrate. Alan Kierkegaard on his X79. Alan, I'd love to be able to announce your name for something brilliant, and you've done really well in this race, but as Groth overtook you literally 20 meters before the finishing line last year. Let's see if you can come back and get your revenge this year. Lars Christian Nielsen, another Impala 27. Well done, Lars Christian. Good to see you on the list. Thomas Borstad in his Melgus 24. It's going to be a fun race as well. Leonard Berman, Seascape 28. It's great to see so many of you coming back year after year. Sarah Britten, I haven't seen you on the list before, and you've written to be announced with your boat. Well, Sarah, it's great to have you on the list. It's so nice to see there are many more female sailors on the list this year. It's really touching. It really helps to make us feel that you've really helped out Float Magazine making an effort getting the girls on the list. Marusa, again from Slovenia. Good to see you on the list, Marusa. Another female sailor. That's going to be really, really nice to see. Once we get the statistics done, we'll see how many women sailors there are this year. We'll see how many boats are in each category, and we'll get all things sorted out. Mads Groth has registered in his Melgus 24 this year. Good to see you on the list, Mads. I'm sure that there are a few other people that would like to have seen you in your X79 instead. I know they've got some business to settle with you. So that would have been fun, but good to see you on the list here. Nice to see a whole list of X332s. I can see a couple of double registration. Dirk Husselmann and Bernd Dreyer. Bernd, you're double registered, so we'll get that sorted out as well. Let me see who else. Nils Thompson in his Scanmar 33. Nils, I believe you're the person who's raced the race more than anybody else. So great to see you back, Nils. Fedt se dig på listen. Skide godt. Anders Bastiansen from X Yachts is racing in an X332. He's participated in every single class and has won a couple of the classes and has raced in every single different races. Thanks, good to see you back. Really, that's an honor to have you on the list. I'm just going to check out how many X99s are on the list. Hey, this is absolutely overwhelming. 13 X99s, all going for the Spinnaker. Brilliant. Let's just see by nationality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Germans and 7 Danes. Hey, that's fantastic. So 13 X99s so far. Come on, guys. I'm sure we can get a couple more. I know that they built 605 of those fantastic boats. So let's see if we can get some more. 408 tickets are sold so far. So just like last year and the last couple of years, it ebbs out. But remember, it's only 29 minutes past 6, guys. 29 minutes past 6, which means that in 29 minutes, we've sold 408 tickets. Okay, Andreas, I got you. Andreas from X Yachts has written that he's registered twice, but we'll get that fixed. We'll get that sorted out, not to worry. Okay, more statistics coming in from Henrik here. At exactly 400 participants, excuse me a second, I just had to get a few things sorted out, people that want to be accepted for the Silverrudder site. I want to make sure that everybody that does want to register actually gets the opportunity to do so. I can see a few of you are possibly people that are following the race but not actually registering. Give me a few seconds. Okay, let me just go back to the list. There's Henrik. Henrik, let's see your statistics again. That was at 402 participants. Okay, let's see what we got. This is Henrik's list here. 223 what we call other boats, 53 X Yachts, 21 Seascapes, 18 dealers because of so many, the One Designs and 33s and 36s. 15 Benettos, 12 Hansers, good to see. I mean, Henrik and I agree that due to the complexity of some of the names, it could sometimes be quite difficult to see whether they were female or male sailors. But I promise you, we'll get the statistics done on that as soon as we get to go through the list, okay? So please bear with us. Let's see, so we've got 264 repeaters, 101 that have never completed, still 25%, and 35 new participants. So thanks, Henrik. Thanks for keeping me updated. That's great, great, great. Let's see what Nils has written. I just write to a contestant, a participant. Don't worry. Need a street and a counter. We're gonna. I'd really like to see Jörn. There he is. I'm going to take a time out for a second. I'll go if you just give me a time out for a second. I'm just going to go and address, try and help somebody out who's having a difficulty getting signed up. I'll be back in exactly 3 minutes. Okay? Okay, great to be back again. I just wanted to get a couple of things sorted out. A couple of people having difficulties registering. So remember, there are plenty of tickets left now. The main thing is you get the registration fixed. Now, if you have a little bit of trouble doing the bank transfer for the first couple of minutes after that, we'll get that sorted out, okay? Just stay in touch with us, we'll get that sorted out. 416 people have registered so far, so that leaves us with just another 34 tickets left, and it is 18:35, so I must say that's absolutely incredible. It's an amazing achievement. I remember this race started 10.5 years ago, in a building which was right next to this, a very small sailing club. Now the sailing club here has existed for years and years and years, but it was a small, sort of almost like a hut at the time. And the Silverrudder has really participated or has contributed to making this race the club that it is. The age of the members of this club, are as old as the old club. So if you're out there and in Denmark or in Germany and you want to be in Svendborg for the Silverrudder, but you're not a racer, you're not necessarily with somebody that wants to participate, we can always use a couple of volunteers, plenty of space for volunteers to help us out. It takes quite some capacity to have breakfast ready for 400 odd sailors plus 100 volunteers. It takes quite a lot to have, to serve dinner for 400 odd people. And so help us out if you can in any way you like. We're fortunate to have a lot of people that want to be on board the race, helping out, not only racing, but sponsoring us and participating and being a part of this fantastic event. But, don't hesitate to get in touch with us if you'd like to help out. 418 now, so 32 tickets left. I'm going to try and continue to be on the sites to make sure that people, get the answers they need for the various questions. And Nils, if you're listening in, I hope you get this sorted out. If you don't, Nils Nordin, I'll make sure that you get sorted out. Okay? I can see that you really are trying to enroll, but having trouble with the bank registration system in Sweden. Nils, I'll get you fixed up. Okay? Good. I'll just go back to the site again. Again, if anybody has any questions as we enroll here, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. It'd be a pleasure to talk to you. 419 now, so 31 tickets to go. And I know that our accountant, Jørn, who's been on board for the entire 11 years of the Silverrudder, is actually sitting there removing double ups, double names. So hopefully, this is much more representative. A number of registrations that we've had the last 10 years, where we haven't actually taken the double registrations away as people register. So last year we probably reached 450, within a few hours. But to be quite honest, it wasn't necessarily representative of the true number of registrations. So 419 or 420 registrations now are very representative of what the people that actually register. Eric in his ETAP 21I. Eric, please write to us with full name details. I'm sure you're really keen to enroll and register, so you just wrote your first name. I don't blame you, I'd have done the same. There's also there's somebody's registered. I think that's probably Pierre Siderbert that's registered a first 18 with a name to be announced. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, the 7 record holders are all eligible for a starting number, regardless of whether or not they managed to register today. Well done for those of you who actually have registered today during this hectic registration process. It's really good that you've made the effort, and also gets us an idea of exactly how many people will be racing. Let's see, there's Ole Peter Laxholm from Norway. He's registered in his Sunfast 3300. Quite a long way for you to come, which is good to see. I'm just going to go for nationality. I want to see how many of the Dutch delegation have decided to come and race against us this year. Let me see, where's the Dutch delegation? The Netherlands. Good to see that Gerben Bos is back in his J122. Gerben, I'm really looking forward to seeing you, all of you. Martin Hingst, Bart, Madelon. Madelon, it's really, really good to see you back again. We communicated last year, so great to see you back on the list. Madelon raced in her winner 950 last year. And Dirk Husselman again, and that's a new contender. Dirk wasn't here last year in his X332, which is good to see. You're going to have a handful of other X332s to race against Dirk, so that's going to be great. Let's see who else is here from. Let's see who's here from Austria. Michael Winner. Michael, remember to just complete the registration form. You've only written Michael, but I know it's you, back in your Sunbeam 26. And Johannes Busek in his Seascape 18. Good to see you. There's one Belgian boat, Sebastian Steinbart in his Saphir 27. That's a lovely fast boat. Good to see you on the list. There are 3 Czech boats from the Czech Republic, Milan, Gidi, and 2 Milans. Great to see you, all in Seascapes, 227s and an 18. Brilliant news. Let's see, from Hungary, there's only Gregory. Gregory in his brilliant Code 10. Gregory, good to see you back again. I'll just run through this and look at the various names. Only one Norwegian racer this year, which is Ole Peter Laxholm. I was hoping to see one more large boat that's normally enrolled, registered with us. 3 Polish boats this year. 1 Dela 33 Classic. Władysław, I haven't seen you on the list before. Welcome to the registration. And Thomas, you're there, my friend Thomas, which is good to see you. Really nice to see you. And Zbigniew Pawlowski, yeah, hit me when I see you for pronouncing your name that badly. I apologize. You can give me a whopping. But both of you guys are racing in Caravellas 950s. I know you were here last year as well. Let's see the Slovenian boats. 5 Slovenian boats, which is good to see. Jan Kobler, Marusa Mochnik, both Seascape 18s. Luka also in an 18. Uros in a 27, and Andras in his 27. I was kind of hoping to see a first Seascape 36 on the list. Remember, the brand new first 36 in the Seascape edition has been launched just literally just a couple of weeks ago. And obviously, we've all been really excited, anticipated about seeing the boat. And I tell you, you've got something to look forward to. It looks like a fantastic boat, and apparently the boat, actually comes out of the water and planes at just around 6 meters per second, so 11 knots, which is amazing for a decent family cruiser. To put things into perspective, my Dela 36 weighs 6.3 tons, where that boat apparently weighs, I think it's 4.4, or literally 30% less for the same boat, actually wider boat. So, looking at the Swedish delegation, there are exactly 18 Swedish boats as we stand. I'm just going to refresh my browser instead of chit-chatting so much. See how many new boats there are. We've now got 422 boats. 422, that's including removing most of the double-ups. So I'll just go back to the list. I have to say probably... Sorry, just trying to... I apologize for the noise in the background. We thought it might be an idea, or some of us thought it might be an idea to have some of the local volunteers, be here and be part of the celebration. They're serving Danish food and Danish sausages and having a beer in the background. The Silverrudder has become such a big part of Svendborg and such a big part of this little club, so they love being here. So please bear with us. I hope you can hear most of what is being said. Looking through the Swedish list, we've got, like I've mentioned, Jens Lidstrup and Richard Roos there, Anders Nyberg in his RM 1350, some great boats, Urban Nilsson in his Hansa 375, Anders Hansen in his Cruiser 40, you've been here before, Göran Artman in his X3 382. Göran actually surprisingly won, not because there's anything wrong with sailing abilities, he's a great sailor, but when there's really, really calm weather, the year before last, Göran, due to the pure stamina, crossed the finishing line in the large category. And when I said, "Hey, congratulations, Göran, you've won," he said, "What? I've won?" He hadn't expected to actually win. So, big, chunky, heavy boat. He'd expected, a couple of the flying ultralight carbon boats to win. Björn Olsen, great to see you on the list at X44, at X99. You weren't on the list when I mentioned, so I mentioned the X99s before, which means we must now have 14 X99s on the list, at least. Great, good to see you on the list, Björn. I had actually been warned that you were signing up. Per Svanberg mentioned, good to see you on the list, Per. Runa Oslu, Runa in his LM30. Runa keeps saying that I'm sure there's going to be a special prize, the fastest LM to race the Silverrudder. Runa, if you keep saying it, we're going to take you up on it and find a present for you, the LM trophy. There are a couple of Swedes that need to finish registering. You can see we have a Niklas in an Elan 350. Complete your registration. We only have your first name. And there's an X95 with Matthias Bovalius, which is great to see. Nils Noin in his Elan 210, nice little fast boat. And Cecilia Grönlund. Cecilia, it's great to see you. Congratulations. You are the first, I believe, you're the first female Swedish sailor to race a Silverrudder. And in an Albin Express, fantastic boat. Peter Edman, the current record holder, no, not the current record holder, but the current European champion of the Seascape 27 SC won last year. And I don't underestimate Peter. Peter is from a family of 2 brothers that have won the Albin Express Swedish Championships more times than I've had birthdays. Janne Magnusson, good to see you on this again, Janne, and Mats Rolin in his Corsair F27 Trimaran. I'll just do a quick refresh and see how many participants we now have on the list. 426 boats so far, and we've removed most of the doubles. I can see there's one double that I bumped into a minute ago. Let's see if there are any more things, information turning up here. I by mistake jumped out of the Facebook site. I can see a lot of pages, a lot of information coming through here. Good. Okay, let me just go back. At 424 participants, thanks Henrik for keeping this information coming. You're a gem. 255 Germans, 125 Danes, 18 Swedes, it's good to see, 5 Slovenians, 5 Dutch boats, including new ones, 3 Swiss boats. I think actually it's 2 Swiss boats and a Dane living in Switzerland, but that's Jens Thusen. Great to see on the list anyway. 3 Poles, 2 Austrians, 1 Norwegian and 1 Hungarian boat. I think there were more Norwegians last year, but I'm sure that Henrik will go and check out the statistics for me and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Looking at the multi-hulls, we now have 10 large multi-hulls and 8 small multi-hulls, which is very representative of what we've seen in the past. The small class has 90 boats, the medium class has 131 boats, and the minis have 57 boats. And the minis, remember, are up to 25 feet. So small boats, minis are things like Pogos 650s and Seascape 18s and boats of that category, up to 25 feet. The Melgis 24 is a mini, despite the fact that it's an ultra fast boat. The Seascape 24, the Seascape First 24 is a mini. Yeah. Small boats, 90 participants, 21% of all the participants so far. There'd be small boats like the Dela 31 design, which are literally designed and built to just slot into the race category, or the size category of this race. I'm just going to correct something here. I'm just writing to one of the participants that are sending us a mail. Yeah, it's one of the participants that hasn't decided upon his nationality so far. So yeah, we got you sorted out, Warner. Thank you. Great. Thank you for all your remarks, everybody. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for writing to us and giving us feedback on what you see on the list, which is great. And I can see that Hans Ginter has written, and Hans Ginter has written happy about the ultra-fast internet in the United Arab Emirates. Yeah, that's great. So we've got people registering from other parts of the world. It's absolutely amazing to see the interest from all over the world. Last year, when we were doing the live streams, at Questions Min, when I was doing the commentary on the starts, a guy from China called and said, listen, a Danish guy living in China, so listen, Philip, the connection's quite bad. Could you stand a bit closer to the microphone? And it's not somebody I know, but it's just people, people all over the world are participating or interested in this race. Ron Stan, one of our absolute primary sponsors of the race. I have direct communication with Ron Stan in Australia. So if you're listening in there, thanks a lot for your support, and thanks, despite the thousands of miles or kilometers between us, that you support us every year. That's just absolutely fantastic. It really is. It's more than a race like this had ever dreamt of when we first started. Yeah? I'll just make sure I get all the pictures sorted out. Yeah, good. Okay. Okay, so if I'm silent for a few seconds, it's not because I'm resting my tongue, it's because I've got excuse me, I've just got a lot of messages coming at the same time as we speak, so bear with me. All right? Good. Okay, good. I think we're getting through the list of messages that have come in. I'm trying to make sure that if people are having trouble registering for the race, I'm just trying to help them out as we go along. Okay, a few people trying to register and having slight difficulties, but we're getting there. I think we're pretty much in control of things. If anybody else is out there having difficulties, just write to the Silverrudder website and I'll help you out. 427 tickets sold so far, which in 50 minutes is pretty good going. I said that's pretty amazing. It's not sold out, but I'm quite sure that we'll be sold out. by this time tomorrow, by the latest. So if you're considering getting on board the Silverrudder train, get in touch. You're right to enroll now. I'm not on the list yet, and I certainly will be. And I know there are a few of the sponsors that have that automatically have the sponsor tickets or sponsor start numbers will be on the list as well. So don't sit back and think, well, there's going to be plenty of space. I don't think there will actually. I'm quite sure they're going to be sold out in a very, very short time. Christoph Postje in his new Della 38, which is going to be a nice boat to sea race. Good. Let me just see how many of the Seascape 27s have now enrolled. And it's not because they are any more special than anybody else, but remember, they're doing the European Championships. 14 boats, which is brilliant. 14 first Seascape 27s. I'll just see if any of them should be registered as firsts. Yes, there is. So 14, and then 15, 16, 17. As far as I can see, there are 17 Seascape firsts, 17, but we'll get that sorted. So we'll get that sorted out as and when. I'll just check out how many X99s. Remember, the X99s are winning that very, very special spinnaker, which has been donated or sponsored by X Yachts in collaboration with Elfstrom Sales. Thanks to both of you for that opportunity. And I don't know where this is leading us. And we did the X79 last year and the X99 this year. And I've got to be quite honest with you. I personally have an idea where I'd like this to go, but I'm not allowed to say that. So for the time being, let's just be really, really, really overjoyed at the fact that we've got 16 one design class boats that were built, from way back in 1985 or 6, something like that, until about 2002, I believe. Just think, 16 identical boats. That's more than most Northern European one-off design class championships can gather. I mean, this is incredible. I know the present, the X99 spinnaker is an outstanding gift, but just imagine you can get 16 identical boats to line up on the starting line in a single-handed race. That's a huge achievement. I know there are a few people out there thinking he's gone mad, but it's a huge achievement for single-handed sailing. It really is. 16 identical boats. And we're not talking about the European Championship here like we are with the Seascapes. We're talking about a one-off, a 30, 40-year-old class design boat. I mean, brilliant. Congratulations to X Yachts for building such an amazing boat, and congratulations for having the idea of reviving the classes like you've done, which is really good. So let's just put the... Oops, I'm trying to go back to the list of participants to see what other classes are represented. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 X332s, which is nice to see. And we've got 27 dealers. And the nice thing about seeing the dealers here is that there are all kinds of boats. You've got some of the old boats, like the classic Dealer 34. Welcome to the race, Rasmus Rieber in his Miria Dealer 34. Rasmus helped me pick up my Dealer 36 in Holland last year. Good to see you on the list. We've got boats like his, that are 35 years old or something. And then just above it, you've got a Dealer 34 SV, one of the much faster boats in the same kind of category, racing against each other. Remember the Silverrudder Challenge is about challenging yourself, challenging your limits, and the amazing friendship and unity that there is in Svendborg up to and around the race. Now, the dialogue that takes place between you, the friendships that have arisen as a result of this race, will last a lifetime. I'm very visible in this race, but I've got friends. Due to this race, we've got friends all over Europe now. Racing friends, sailing friends, across borders, cross nationalities, and the reason for that is that unlike when I turn up on a crewed boat with between 4 and 15 crew members, it's just me, just you, just one sailor on a boat, and who are you going to talk to? The guy next to you. Who's going to help you put the halyard through your mast? Who's going to help you fix your Windex? Who's going to help you get your spreaders or your spreaders fixed and tightened? Well, the guy in the boat next to you. We're here to help each other. My odd saying of the "you'll never sail alone" this year. I mean, I've spent the entire cold winter thinking about it. And I've never experienced so many sailors, so many single-handed sailors, have so much unity in one race. It's quite touching. I'll try not to get all philosophical and melancholic here, but it's quite touching. 430 tickets sold so far, which is just 20 to go. 20 tickets to go. Looking at this, I think that by the time I get back from the airport and go to the hospital with my son tonight, I'm sure that they're all going to be sold. Jan Hansen, a record holder. Good to see you on the list in your Marlin 33. Great to see. So if you're interested in having an incredibly fast carbon multi-hull built, Marlin 33 is now on the market. As are, of course, all the amazing Dragonflies that are on the Corsairs that are on the list as well. So good to see that there are so many of them represented as well, Danish-built boats. One person we're definitely going to miss is Black Maggie in his Open 40. Last year when he broke the record again, he said, "That's me, I'm done," which is a real shame. Maybe we can, remember he's guaranteed a starting number, so an entry, so maybe we can twist his arm and get him to sign up. I'll just go and see what we've got in the way of categories, how many we've got in each category. Look at the extra large boats. I'll just refresh here. Look at the extra large boats. We've got 42 of the extra large boats. Everything from large Fairby's to Martin 43s, X50, Kasper Vedersø, good to see you on the list if you're listening in. You haven't been with us for some time. Last time you raced this race, slap me if I'm wrong, but as far as I remember, the last time you raced this race was in an X332. So he's now racing an X50 T-Rex. I know that Kasper will definitely be chomping at the bit to go for a record. Good to see you on the list, Kasper Vedersø. Kasper is incidentally chairman of the Helsingør Yacht Club and is responsible for the Zealand Rundt race. So support them. Fantastic race as well. The Zealand Rundt race has gone from being just a race to being like a little bit like Kielevok, a whole week's events with all kinds of different races going on. So if you haven't already done so, check it out. Good to see Michael back Michael Andersen back in his Chamois, in his X55. Big boat, huge boat, and it's done absolutely incredible looking boat. Good to see you on the list again, Michael. Jan Møller, record holder in Dream On. He won last year, blew away the record by an hour and a half in his German Fraise 49, which is an absolutely gorgeous looking boat. But he's installing a bow thruster as we speak, so that's not going to do much for the speed of the boat. Just kidding, Jan. Good to see you on the list. So it's going to be a good race. Now, I've mentioned Martin Meridin in his ultra optimized Landmark 43. He's going to be a contender as well. It's so good to see so many of these big boats on the list. There's an X49E. I'm not quite sure what that is, an X49E, but I'll just go out and see one of the other lists. Maybe I should just mention Vincent Baguli in his Cayenne 42. Vincent hasn't actually been sailing that long, but this is his second Silverrudder. Good to see you on the list, Vincent. Great to see you back. Looking forward to shaking your hand when you come to Svendborg soon. Then you've got the large category of boats I'll just check out how many boats there are, with 86 boats, nice size, everything from Lofer 37s, light racing boat, to IMX 40s, to First 36. There'll be a Dale 36 in that race, and then boats like the JPK 1030, which are horribly fast machines. I can't keep up with those. Do 440s performance. There'll be and note some of these boats are right on the right on the limit of the category. The IMX 40s, literally just a few centimeters below the 40-foot limit. A couple of 362 sports, a couple of 362 classics. JPK 1080. It's great to see Molik 10 meters. Super to see some of these boats. An X37 as well. A couple of Lofer 37s. Grand Soleil 40 racer. I mean, a lot of fast boats. And the nice thing about this category as well is that you've got some of these brand new, really hot boats like Jens Dwinger's Sunfast 3 3600 Dwinger 2.0, who that has raced with us for quite a few years now. Gorgeous looking boat. And then you've got things like a Comfortina 38, which has, or a Trabant 38, boats of that category, which are literally, from mid 80s. And it's nice to see that this race can handle boats of all kind of categories within the same, or rather all ages and all generations in the same race. Last steam with his Confortina 38. So I think what I'm trying to say is that it can encompass, there's this space for boats that are here to complete the race and have a fantastic time with their mates, and you've got absolutely wicked racing machines like I'd say the Sunfast 3600 is, and a lot of the other boats. Let's go to the large category, or rather the medium category. I just refreshed my browser to see how many more boats have enrolled as I'm sitting here chatting away. Another 2 boats, so 432 boats now signed up. Now just go and check out the medium category. Now this is the largest category, remember, and 133 medium boats, quite a few X332s, 130 X34, lots of nice X30, X99s. I can see there's an Impala 31 here just there. Einar Reiknagel, you've raced with us many years now. The Blackadder, good to see you on the list again. Yeah, Peter Zornak in his first 30. Good to see you back as well, Peter. Søren Schøn Nielsen, I haven't seen you on the list before, I don't think, Søren. Søren is definitely a contender for the X99 Spinnaker. Good to see you on the list, Søren. Nice boat, local boat. Dealer 34s, and you've got a self-build Berkemeyer 31 Classic. Jan von der Bank, good to see you here on the list. German boat. So like I say, boats of all different categories. There are a few boats in the wrong category. I can see there's an NX402, Peter Aarons. Peter will get you moved into the other category. You have to be in the large boat. What we do is once all the registrations come in, we check out to see whether any boats are obviously in the wrong category. We go and take the measurements of any boat that we are in doubt of, and if we're very much in doubt, we'll write to the skipper and say, hey, give us your certificate of class, and we can go and check out the exact dimensions of the boat. Yeah? So there's an Archambault Grand Surprise there. There's the slightly smaller Sunfast, the 3200 with Udo Schallenberg. Udo, you've raced with us many times in the past. Good to see you on the list. Klaus Pedersen with his Jeannot One Design 35. Good to see you on the list. I know Klaus. I know that despite your 2 meters and 5 or however tall you are, huge monster of a man. His boat's called Grand Danois Solo. Klaus races all winter, but he's contracted corona, so he's lying there on his deathbed, eating medicine so that he can manage the registration process. Well, Klaus, welcome on board. May you have a fast recovery. Excuse me. I'm going to take a 3-minute break now, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Well, back again. Not much has happened since I left you a couple of minutes ago, except that I've had a bite to eat and answered a few emails and some messages. Let me see. Looks so good. Jens, you sorted, or Nils rather, got you sorted out with your payments. 433 tickets now sold, and our accountant is sitting right behind me sorting out all the doubles. So that is the reason why the race has a much more representative amount of sold tickets this year compared to last year. Last year, we had literally 15 or 30 double sales. So it's nice to see that what you actually see is representative of what has been sold. So we've got somebody sorting them out as we go. And I promise I'll do lots of good statistics on this as and when. Florian Dembeck in an Albin Vega 27, I was just looking at that. Good to see you on the list, Florian. It's nice, I think about this every single year as the race progresses and develops. Because it's a hell of a race. For some of you, it's a real race, hardcore. You guys, some of you are building boats for this race. Some of you are building boats and bringing them here to show off, to the rest of the sailing community. And the next stop is the European, is the winter boat shows, huge, great big boat shows. And after you've been here and got some results, and that yet there are still boats like a Bianca 28 and the Albin Vega 27, and I'm not saying that the racing boats aren't the spirit of the Silverrudder, but it's amazing that we can have an Albin Express race by Cecilia Grönlund next to an Albin Vega 27 and J80, you know, and Banner Racer 28. You know, I mean, some of these boats are 40 years old, and then you've got the Alolus 30P, which is, you know, is a monster of a boat, which is going to just roar along if there's just the slightest breeze. And I remember some of the boats I just mentioned are either long-keeled or semi-long keel now, and those boats are going to likely to be, you know, more than 40 hours to participate or to complete, and yet we're all in the same race. Amazing. We're all in exactly the same race. I'm curious to see how many X79s there are registered this year, because that was, you know, the real plaster last year, and I think there were 15 of you last year. And this year there are 6 X79s racing, which is good to see that there's still lots of you. I'm sure that actually, I think there might be a couple of more. Yeah, there you go. There are more. There are 10 of you. Good to see. Good to see. Good. Depends how I spell X79 in my search here. Great. Okay. And I can see that the volunteers, the Silverrudder volunteers, are just slowly starting to leave the building. There are now 438 registrations, which means there are only 12 registrations left. It makes me quite sad to think that this is almost over for this year, because we all really look forward to this evening. Now, this evening, the first of the real Silverrudder events is tonight, and then after that, it's not at all downhill, and it's not like that. It's just that the event is just like starts here. You know, the social media work that we've been doing. Getting you guys all hyped up and ready to sign up. I mean, it's just part of it, and we love it. We love doing it for you, and we love setting up Svendborg for you, and we just love receiving you here. And Fleming, the photographer, was sitting across the table from me, you know, annoyed because I can't sit still, and he says, "Stop fidgeting, sit still." I mean, him and I have been doing this for years now. I mean, I started my first Silverrudder racing exactly 10 years ago. I wasn't involved in the first race, but I raced the first race, and I raced the first 4 or 5 races, and then health problems, I didn't race one race. But then I started getting involved in the media side as well, and a lot of the organizing work, and it's just become a huge part of all of our lives. So Fleming and I are a little bit like man and wife. He knows exactly what to say to annoy me. You can see there's an accountant doing the registrations, because he just removed one. I just said 438, now there are only 437, so something's not wrong. Something's not right, I mean. We're only going to stay on for another few minutes, but yeah, I mean, it's great to see some of the boats enlisted, you know, that have been here year after year. Jakob Sinning in his Banner 30, a local guy. Good to see you on the list, Jakob, if you're listening in. Well done. I doubt whether he's listening in, but it's good to see you here. All kinds of boats, Bavaria 35s. There's a Queen 43. I'm not sure if I know what a Queen 43 is. I seldom come across the boat that I haven't heard of before, but there's Bjarne Levin in his Dufour 34 performance. Good to see you back on the list, Bjarne. Well done. Yeah. There's also Helmsman Barracuda there, a 35. Good to see you on the list. John Jørgensen. I mean, John, you've been racing this for years and years. He and I raced against each other in all kinds of classes of boats. John, it's good to see you on the list. I know you may well be listening in. Good to see you. It's always a pleasure to see familiar names. I'm just looking to see if I can see the other half of the UK sales skippers. Dirk Manor, there you are. I was wondering whether you're on the list, because Dirk owns that absolutely gorgeous LA 28 wooden mahogany boat, Mano Man, that most of you will have seen. Now, it's absolutely beautiful. It's an absolutely spectacular boat. It's only 28 foot, but sleek, and it's not the kind of boat you invite your family out for a 3-week sailing. But it's an absolutely gorgeous looking boat. It's good to see you on the list, Dirk, and I'll see you in Flensborg in just a couple of weeks' time. My boat's being launched in just 24 days' time, and we've got our first tune-up session in another boat in an Albin Express in Flensborg on the 23rd of April. So the season's definitely started here. I know I've been racing J70s all winter. Only this week and last week have they been out of the water for winter restoration, you know, just anti-fouling them and polishing them and just checking the rigs and stuff. So it's been a very mild winter here in Denmark, so we've been able to race all winter, and COVID hasn't really put any major restrictions on that. 437 boats registered so far. We'll be leaving you in just a couple of minutes' time. At 437 registrations in an hour and 50 minutes, I think we can safely say that Silverrudder has again proven to be an absolutely outstanding event. We're going to make the best race ever for you. And if the weather conditions are just half as good as they were last year, you know, with literally the wind, a beam or a bar of the beam all the way across the north of Fyn, where boats were breaking record speeds. If we can just do half of that, we'll have done very well. I'm not sure if we'll break as many records again this year. You know, the weather's totally out of our hands. All I can say that it's going to be great to see you back here soon. If you have noticed any mistakes in your registrations, let us know. Write to us at silverrudder@silverrudder.dk, silverrudder@silverrudder.dk. Another thing, don't forget to read the statutes and notice of race. The notices of races have been posted or are posted on our Silverrudder website, which is www.silverrudder.com. Go and check them out and make sure that you're completely familiar with the necessary safety equipment. Remember, we race in accordance with the collision avoidance rules. Make sure that you're totally up to speed with them. Those of you in the mini class, I have a very, very special request of you, and I have to warn that we will clamp down on this year. If you come to the Silverrudder 2022 with a flashing strobe light as your navigation lights, you'll be disqualified and you won't be allowed to leave the harbour. And I don't mean to I don't want to be the old naughty or the old horrible school teacher. We have to make sure that the collision avoidance rules are used. Strobe lights are only allowed to be used in case of distress, and as it says so very clearly in the statutes and the sailing instructions and the collision avoidance rules, we're going to disqualify you. So make sure that you have, you know, tri-coloured lights placed somewhere where they can be seen, a 360 degrees of the horizon. Yeah, good. Goes for all boats, regardless of size. All boats must have a red, green, and stern light. Okay. I'll just refresh again to see how many more participants have signed up. So read the notice of race and the statutes and check out to make sure you've got the necessary safety equipment. If you have any questions, write to us on Facebook, follow our Instagram page, which is Instagram official site, or go to our website, which constantly have updates there as well. Yeah. So let us know if you're in doubt. Make sure you make your payments immediately. If you haven't paid immediately, then your ticket will be sold on to somebody who is willing to pay straight away. Okay, so don't hang on in there and wait for it to happen. Good. Thanks very much for listening in this evening. It's been a pleasure. We've enjoyed the process of getting you all lined up ready for this. The fact that we sold 337 tickets or 338 now in so few minutes is an absolutely incredible achievement, and it's great to see so many new women sailors on the list. Thank you.